Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther. If you're a new subscriber, if you're a returning subscriber, hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a segment called debunking myths about sickle cell. So today I'm here to be clarifying some myths about sickle cell. Sickle cell is contagious. That's the very first myth we're going to talk about. So as we all know, or for an educated person, or for someone who has been following me on my channel, you would know that sickle cell anemia is a genetic or blood disorder, and obviously blood disorders cannot be passed from one person to another. The contagious disease is either passed through air, or by sneezing or coughing or any of that sorts. The only way a person can get sickle cell anemia is through birth, and that is when two parents or two spouses or two people who carry the sickle cell trait get married and produce an offspring. Apart from that, there is no other way someone can catch sickle cell. Myth 2: sickle cell is caused by witchcraft or curse. So, as I've said, sickle cell is a genetic condition, not a spiritual punishment. Sickle cell is inherited from your parents. You having sickle cell, or any sickler out there, is not a product of their parents' village people or their parents' past mistakes or whatever their parents have done. No. You having sickle cell means that your parents have the sickle cell trait, not that you were cursed, not that you were a product of witchcraft or whatever. Sickle cell is a genetic disorder. That's it simply put. You cannot say you have sickle cell anemia because your parents were cursed. Not at all. It is a genetic disorder. It is not a spiritual punishment or witchcraft. Myth 3: people with sickle cell are always sick. Am I sick? Do I look like I'm sick? Yes. Many people with sickle cell are weak and not as energetic as people like me. But many people living with sickle cell are strong and very active. They may have pain episodes most of the time, but not all the time. Like me, I am very strong, active, energetic, vibeful, and I am not always sick. The only time I look sick is when I am sick. Yes, people say they know sicklers from the way they look, or when you have sickle cell is written on your face. No. That's the same way you can't know someone who has HIV just from looking at your face. You looking at my face doesn't mean that you know that I have sickle cell anemia, or you looking at someone that is weak doesn't mean that that person has sickle cell anemia. Yes. Another myth is children with sickle cell cannot play sports or go to school because you are always in the hospital. I had to do some research on all these myths, and when I was reading some of them, I was like even reasoning, are you sure these people are living in 2025? Because if you're living in 2025, you know that there are some drugs that people take to sustain themselves. If someone with asthma can run and then take their inhaler afterwards, why can't someone with sickle cell run and take medication afterwards? Yes, sickle cell and asthma are not the same thing. But okay, if you know you are not strong enough to play sports, then don't. If you know you are not strong enough to swim or run, or you can't be in cold places, then don't. But to people who have sickle cell anemia and are winning world records, winning sports, winning races, doesn't that mean that people with sickle cell anemia can play sports? Now, to the one about people with sickle cell anemia cannot go to school, does our health stop us from learning? No. If we want to go to school, we'll go to school. I go to school. I learn. Yes, most of the time I fall sick and I miss classes, but I learn. Children with sickle cell can learn. Warriors with sickle cell anemia can learn play sports, and succeed with proper care and rest. Lack of stress. If they want to do it, they can do it as far as they put their mind to it. Myth number, I've lost count. People with sickle cell should not get married. This particular myth, people with sickle cell should not get married. If we get married to someone who is AA and our children are ASAS, our children are healthy, our children are safe, and we will give our children proper education on sickle cell so that they will also get married to someone who is AA, and then they will have children without the sickle cell. Like, are you understanding? People with sickle cell anemia can get married and have families with proper genetic counseling. Myth number, I really should stop counting at this point. Drinking herbs alone can cure sickle cell. People take herbs because of blood tonics, to boost blood and strength and stuff like that. So when you say herbs can cure sickle cell, and you can't say just taking herbs will alter our genetic makeup and then make us not sicklers anymore. Sickle cell has to do with your genotype, your blood, and you taking herbs and herbs alone cannot be a way of you curing sickle cell, if that's the way they put it. No herbal remedy can cure sickle cell. It's just, I feel like medical care cannot even cure but subside, treat, reduce pain crisis. Even medical care cannot cure sickle cell except for probably bone marrow transplant and stem cell transplant. Yeah, so if you guys made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what next you want me to do on this channel. Bye.